In Series 1 of Pastel Pencil demonstrations, I asked for suggestions as to what you'd like to see me demonstrate, and I had a couple of suggestions for smoke. So I thought, let's give it a go. Now the problem is, I can't do a whole picture again just to show you the smoke. So what I intend to do is to remove this smoke from here and put it in again. So it shows you how I did it. It's interesting because there were several reasons. One, the smoke goes against the green, the bridge and the tunnel. So you've got different effects that you need to create. And also, of course, you've got the smoke coming out of the funnel of the train. So let's get on with it. The first thing I've got to do is erase this smoke. Now it does seem rather a shame, I know, but I'm going to show you how easy it actually is to get rid of it. Now, what I would have done, and what I did do in this picture, and let me just do this one little section and I can explain better to you. I would have had the paper like that, and what I would have done, I would have used let me just make sure I've got the right colour, here we are. I would have used the background here to filter its way into the smoke. Now I would have done that before I started. So I would have used the grey, and I've got a grey here somewhere, here we are. I would have used the grey. That's the light grey I started with because that gave me the base colour. And then I would have used the 189, which I used on this one. Now you can see the colour building already, but you see I've graduated it from here to here, and then I would use a little bit of stronger tones like that. Now that's how I would have done it. Then I would have used my colour shaper just to blend that round like that, and that would have given me an opportunity to put the white back in again. So let's just do that. Now I'll do this in different parts of the picture as well. No need to rub the whole of the smoke out. And that smoke would have then graduated the other way. You can see already it's beginning to work. And let's just complete that. Now over here, let's do the same thing. Oh no, I won't do that because I want to show you that, don't I? So I won't do that bit. And then once again, you bring the colour shaper back in. I've got some of the colour on there, and I would have used that just to filter it through. Now you can see now how well that is actually coming up. One of the magics of the pastel pencil. I don't think there's another medium you could probably use for this effect. And then in the smoke itself, well, I'll show you. I'm going to show you more of that as we go on. I would use the grey back in again. And the other thing about smoke is it's also slightly yellowish. And I would have used a 102 yellow here. Now you're not going to see very much of this, so you may just see a little tone coming in. It's round here that you can pick it up. And then, once again, come back to the colour shaper. This time I'm going to take the pastel off the end of it and then blend it again, so we've got that yellow having an influence. Because smoke coming out of a funnel of a train is pretty dirty, and we can't make it too pristine. So let's make it just a little darker. And there we are, that's a little bit. Now I'm going to rub out another section. Let's do this here now because I've started the ball rolling on that. I'm using the double-ended eraser here, which is something fantastic to use if you're serious about the pastel pencil. Gets in places where the normal eraser, you could use an ordinary eraser. Let me just show you, you can do that too. Now let's take all the smoke out. Now this time I'm going to do it slightly differently. I'm going to actually put this back in again. Different to this. And we're going to put the smoke on top of it this time. So let's just repair this. A little bit of depth over here with my 175, making it just a little darker on the edge. Colour shaper. And this time I don't really want it to be too detailed, so there's just a little bit more. And the red that I used earlier, that's it, and blend it again. Now this time, let me show you how this works. Just blend it into there so it matches. Now, I've already showed you the double-ended eraser as a tool we use, and there's another thing here. This is the colour shaper, which I use extensively now with all my work, pastel work. Now that looks good, so between here and here we've got to put the smoke in. I'm just going to turn it round. Now the reason I'm doing that, you'll see in a moment, is because it gives me a better angle. Now I've got to come up from here with the white. So we start off in here and we do that. Because coming from there it comes straight up and then it disperses as it gets to there. Now let me just use my colour shaper once again to blend it in there, and there we go. Any area that you destroy, as you know already, I'm sure, you can pick up. So let's just put a little bit of black in there. Pick it back up, so we want to make sure that that's pristine. Sometimes you can interfere with that a little bit as you're doing this. Let's come back the other way, and there we are. It's fantastic, isn't it? Now what about here? Well, let me show this as well. Let me just take a little bit of that. I tell you what, I'll do the other side because this is more interesting over here. You've already seen how that works. So let's just show you this. Let's take the smoke away from this area here. In fact, let me go right up into the sky as well. There we are. This will give you a really good idea of how that works. Now, once again, I would have used my pencils just to start interfering with the area that I want the smoke to be. Like that. And using a slightly different green up here because this would have been in the distance, and I will use a greyish green like that. And then we can, let me just finish that off. A little bit of more green down here. You've got to imagine that you're putting smoke in, or leaving the smoke. It's not easy to do, but it's fun. Gosh, it's fun. And a little bit of dark green as well. And then let's just clean this off. And I'll show you how we can. You don't want to blend this too much because it's more textured, except right on the end where you want to pull some of the colour away from that into the smoke. Same idea as before, and then we can bring the smoke back into that area. Got it? So it looks a bit funny there and fuzzy, doesn't it? Well, it ain't going to when I finish this. Now let's now use the white. Go right up close. Oh, I didn't. Well, it's pretty obvious the blue sky. I don't really need to tell you that because it would have been white and a little bit of blue anyway, and that can be faded into there. Right, and that fade, we've already seen how I did that. Just bit. Now this bit, you use the white, but you graduate that back into there like that, and even without me doing anything else, you can see that that's going to work. Just rather nice to make it just a little bit more. And a grey, a bit of grey, a little bit. If you use the yellow again, just a touch of that, making it a little bit more attractive. And then use the colour shaper again, this time. Clean it off. And there we are. Now I've left the best till last. What about in there? Wow. Now that is quite hard. What do you do first? Do you do the dark first, or do you do the smoke first? Well, it's a little bit of both, really. But let me just show you. I'll take just a section of, or shall I take that bit out there? Let's take it completely out, and I'll show you how I did it. See, even very dark colours can be removed. Back to pastel paper. Now I want to come right down here into the smoke so that I can redo it. Now I'm not going to get that out completely. I could if I really press it, but I don't want to spoil the surface of the pastel. So we just, because it's got to go back in again, we'll leave it at that. We just imagine we've got back into the same colour pastel paper. Right. So what do we do first? What we do first here. Now it's no point in putting light grey on here because we've got too dark a colour. So I go straight in here with my grey. This is my 273 grey. And then imagine that the smoke's there and just fade it like that. Then we use the dark, I'm looking for 181, here we are, 181. Now with a dark colour like this, you start with medium and you end up with the two dark colours. You could put black directly onto that, but I think it would be a bit too fierce. So it's best to have the medium grey first, then 181. I think it's a wise thing to blend that too before we put the black on, which is coming on next. And then the black. And this is the deepest part of this, the darkest part of it. But as I drag that back down, like the black being the strongest of the colours, I don't want to make it too dark, close to the edge of the smoke. Hope you're following me here. You can see this and you can see this, so you can see the either side exactly the same. This is the area I'm now concerned with, you know, just this bit. So that's this bit that's going to come out next. So let's just make sure that that is as dark as we're going to get it, which it is. And then we can just drag that just a little bit into that area there. Alright, so we have it very dark at the top and then we just graduate it. Now the smoke. Start off as I showed you up there with the trees so that you get this little area of no man's land. It's very dark and very smoky. Then you bring the white back into it, swirling it in. It already works, doesn't it? Doesn't take a lot of effort. Now I'm just going to... You see, what you could do when you've got that, which is what I did up there, I took it off, you can also use it. Let me show you. In other areas. Like that. I hope you're finding this interesting. You can see why I love using the pastel pencil. Now when you come into there, you can carry on and just whisper. Bring it, some of it can come back in, Now, isn't that absolutely magical? And what we do is we go back over here with just give me not that one, with the pink, and you repair the edge of the bridge. I do have another colour shaper. Let me show it off. This is a fairly new one we've got here. You don't have to have these, all these folks, it's just me. But the reason I bought this, and we have it now in stock, is because you can do little things like this. Now, I could have done it with the other one too, but I'd have had to be just a little more careful. But that gives you a really nice crisp finish. There we are, that's finished. Now let me show you the picture again. Redone, or partly redone. There you are, that's what it looks like when we finished. Same as when we started. I hope you enjoyed that. If you are interested in doing this train picture, it's on our members site. You can see how I did the whole thing. And I look forward to seeing you on the next demonstration. Bye for now.